Hello everyone, welcome to today's class, and our title today is Wimpy Whoppers. Let's move on to language focus. 1번. They say that the Whoppers you see in advertisements look nothing like the ones you get when you actually order one. Okay, so as you can see, I've highlighted nothing like, and I'll also highlight this one as well. Okay, so we use nothing like after verbs 동사 of perception such as look, 보다, sound, 소리어 듣다, and taste, 맞다, to express a lack of resemblance. So it means it's completely different. So let's have a look at our examples. Actually, no. So let me explain. Nothing like. So it's basically saying like 이 두 가지 사이에는 전혀 유사한 것이 없다. Alright, so 전혀 둘은 같지 않다, 않은, or 전혀 등등등은 하지 않은. Nothing like. Okay. So if we look at examples, modern dance music sounds nothing like dance music of 100 years ago. So 현대 무용음악은 100년 전의 음악과는 전혀 다른 소리로 들린다. So the music 100 years ago and the music of today are completely different. Completely different. Or, Lionel always complains that pizza here tastes nothing like pizza back home in New York. Lionel은 항상 이곳의 피자는 뉴욕의 고향에서 피자 맛이 나지 않다고 불평한다. So the pizza in, let's say, Korea is very different from the pizza in New York. Even if they say it's New York style pizza, it tastes nothing like New York style pizza. Kind of like when you go abroad. If you're Korean and you go to a Korean restaurant, usually the Korean food tastes a little different from actual Korean food here in Korea. So you could say, example, the Australian Korean food tastes nothing like authentic Korean food, which is kind of true in my opinion, but it's still good either way. So yes, nothing like, 전혀 같지 않은, 전혀 하지 않은. Okay, moving on to 2번. Who's to say we're not just getting an extra bun for our money? Okay, so we're now going to focus on who's to say. Now we use this to question an assumption. So we're questioning an assumption. What does assumption mean? It's kind of like a guess. Alright, so an assumption is more of like a 중정. Assumption. Or 상종. So that's an assumption. So basically, I'll highlight this, for you first. Who's to say? We could write it as like 뭐뭐뭐 일치 or 였을지 누가 알겠어? 아무도 모른다는 뜻이에요. Okay, so who's to say? Let's look at our example sentences. Who's to say you have to do the same thing as everybody else? Make up your own mind. 뭐 다른 사람들과 똑같은 일을 해야 한다고 누가 말했겠는가? 스스로 결정하라. Like, 마음대로 해. Do your own thing. Don't always do what other people are doing. Or, if you're not happy with the situation, who's to say you can't change? 상황이 마음에 들지 않으면 누가 그걸 바꿀 수 없다고 말하겠어요? So if you're not happy, you should be able to change the situation. Very simple. Now let's move on to the language focus quiz. 1번. Looks nothing like what I had expected. So nothing like, do you remember we said it's like 이 두 가지 사이에는 전혀 유사한 것이 없다. So nothing like, it's very, very, very different. Not the same. Strong emphasis. So an example might be the painting looks nothing like what I expected. So 그 그림은 내가 기대했던 것과 전혀 달라 보이지 않는다. Maybe if I went to see the Mona Lisa, a lot of people expect it to be a very big painting, but in reality, it's actually quite a very small painting. So it looks nothing like what I expected. 2번. Although it looks similar, tastes nothing like let's say, although it looks similar, this let's say Australian steak tastes nothing like the real Australian steak. So 겉보기에는 비슷하지만 이 호주 스테이크는 호주의 진짜 스테이크와 전혀 다른 맛이 나지 않는다. So maybe they said it was Australian steak, but really it wasn't Australian steak. And 3번, it might not be easy to but who says it's impossible? So remember, who says? When we said who says, when question and assumption. Assumption, 추정, 사정, who's to say? Let's use the example of, okay, win the competition. But who's to say it's impossible? 그 대회에서 우승하기가 쉽지 않을 수도 있지만 누가 불가능하다고 말하겠어요? It's not impossible, but it's just very difficult. 4번. Who's to say has to Who's to say she has to, say, give up her dreams? So 그녀가 꿈을 포기해야 한다고 누가 말하겠는가? Like, who's to say she has to give up her dreams? Nobody. She should follow her dreams. Alright, now let's move on to the further discussion. 1번. Do you think people's expectation of fast food restaurants has changed a lot in recent years? If so, how? 여러분은 패스트푸드점에 대한 사람들의 기대가 최근 몇 년 사이에 많이 바뀌었다고 생각하나요? 만약 그렇다면 어떻게 생각하나요? To be honest with you, I don't think so. I think we've known for a very long time that what they show on the advertisements and what they actually present in the restaurants is very, very different. Where I think people might have a problem is, example, for high-end restaurants, like very expensive restaurants. You expect, since you're paying a lot of money, to have exactly what is expected from maybe an advertisement or what they see on blogs. For fast food, it's relatively cheap. It's relatively easy to make. I don't think many people out there are expecting it to look fantastic. 2번. Some people might suggest that it doesn't matter what food looks like as long as it tastes good. What do you think of this idea? 어떤 사람들은 음식이 맛만 있으면 어떤 무섭이든 상관없다고 제안할 수도 있다. 좋아요. 이 아이디어에 대해 어떻게 생각하세요? Yeah, I agree. I mean, have a look at a lot of Korean food. It doesn't particularly look appetizing, but it tastes fantastic. So sundae doesn't look fantastic to eat, but it tastes good. As well as like 국밥. Though as Koreans we are used to looking at it and it does look delicious, maybe to other people it doesn't look appealing. However, it tastes amazing. 족발, as an example, it's the pig's trotter. It's their foot. You can see the shape of the foot. Again, doesn't look great, tastes amazing. So yes, it doesn't really matter about how it looks. It's more about what it tastes like. And that's why I don't like going to fine dining restaurants, because they spend so much time on the preparation and the look. I don't really care. I just want to know how it tastes. Anyway, that wraps it up for today's class, and I'll see you on the next class.
Nemesis.
Nemesis.
Objective.
Objective.
Vice versa.
Vice versa.
Prep.
Prep.
Gray area.
Gray area.
Merit.
Merit.